Hey guys, so today we're gonna look on how to make your brand unforgettable, and you will see it's actually much more easy than you think. So the first thing we need to look at is the power of a singular brand associations. So if you think about it, your favorite brand is probably linked to an idea that you have about a brand or a feeling that you have. It's very rarely only tied up to just a good product. And if you think about it, the best brand in the world all have this common trait. So let's look at some examples first. So Red Bull, which is an energy drink, managed to build an extremely good associations with extreme sports. If you think of Red Bull, I'm pretty sure you don't really think first of just the product. You're probably thinking of the dudes just jumping out of the plane. And they've done this very successfully over the years. And all of like the content that they're producing as a brand is always around the same thematic. If you check the Instagram, it's 100% extreme sports and very, very, very little about the product. Nike did something very good by associating the brand with performance and motivations. If you think about Nike, you think about greatness, you think about being an athlete, and in the commercial, they don't sell product. They actually sell the core idea of just do it, right? And that's a successful pairing the brand has managed to do. And on the other side, Apple, which is probably one of the best brands in the world, they build this incredible brand around simplicity, innovation, and being smart about the product. Their ecosystem reinforce the core concept of the brands, and all the marketing is very minimalistic, from the packaging to the actual software they use in the product down to the store. So all of the touch point brand has with the customer all have the same simplicity and innovation. So the key takeaway of this is that the most powerful brand don't just sell product, they own a feeling, a moment, or experience in the customer mind. So today we're just gonna look at how to apply the same concept for your brand. And you see it's actually pretty easy. So step number one, the power of simplicity and repetitions. So the brand message should be ideally short, and it should be instantly understood. It should be repeatable, and the more you're gonna repeat it, the more it will compound, and over time you will have this successful pairing between your brand message and what your customers remember of your brands. And this is really what we're trying to achieve here. And all of like your different marketing should all have basically the same message. And a good example of this is Airbnb with the tagline "Belong Everywhere." In most of the ads from Airbnb, you will always either see the tagline or really have this feeling that you can belong everywhere. And this is how they build an incredible brand compared to, for example, Booking.com. Right? Step number two, everyone should live by the brand missions. And this is so important. Like, look, employees should feel personally connected to your brand missions. Every department should also reinforce the same brand story, and the founders and leaders should constantly reinforce the message. And personally, I did this mistake where we didn't have any clear brand missions for the first 2 years, and that really impacted the brand because we didn't have anyone on the same line in that sense, and the marketing was a bit all over the place in that sense. And a really good example of this is Patagonia. Whether you like it or not, you instantly know what's the mission of the brands, what type of customers shop in Patagonia, and it's just a no-brainer, and that's how they've been super successful as a brand. It's just because the mission is very clear. The customers shop Patagonia for a specific reason. Number three is consistency. So once you have your core message, you should just repeat it. And the most important, you should evolve without losing the core of the message. And that's really important because when you will grow, pretty often you will launch new product, you will launch new division, whatever you're gonna do. It's quite easy, in my opinion, to lose the core and to evolve on something that doesn't make any sense with why your customer started buying your brands in that sense. And a good example of this is Tesla, for example. So Tesla, they are doing electric vehicles, they're doing solar panels, they're doing so many different stuff, but it's all tied up around around the mission, which is accelerating the world transition to sustainable energy. Once you understand this, you can launch new product, launch new divisions, but always stay true to the core. So this is for the message, right? Now the other really important component of like a successful brand association is the branding. And if we look the branding, so how to build branding through emotion and storytelling. First, let's look at the science behind the emotional branding. So something really important is that people remember emotions, not facts. Emotion is memory, and the stories is how the human process the world. We can use multiple ways in order to apply those principles, but humor is a very good way to do it. When you make people laugh, people remember. And it can help to make your brand look more human. It can help you stand in the sea of boring marketing. And when you make someone laugh, the most importantly, they will have this positive association with your brands, and they're most likely to share and talk about your brands. Very good brand that's done this successfully is Allspice. They have some sort of like legendary commercial. Manscaped as well. Manscaped, they are selling shaver for your balls basically, and the concept is like you cannot cut it with the shaver. It doesn't really work. Personally, I cut myself, but yeah, story for another time. But they've been very successful because all of the marketing is funny, is great, and yeah. Another point is nostalgia. So when you tap into shared memory, you will bring and trigger this sort of like comfort, trust in the brand, and it will just help customer to remind happy time. And when they associate your brand with this happy memory, it would be much easier for them to remember your brands when they want to buy a product that fall into your category. And that's why there's so much brand that lean into this 80s, 90s inspire marketing in that sense. A good example I found was Stranger Things with the Eggo waffle. I'm pretty sure if you're a kid that grew up in the States in the 80s, that probably should trigger something. McDonald's as well with the adult Happy Meal, which I think was very smart, right? And then the other way that you can connect is to play with opposite to make an idea stick. So something that's very important is that the brain pay attention when two unexpected things collide. So as a brand, you can create like a memorable moment just by challenging the norm or flipping expectations. And a good brand that do this is Liquid Death. Liquid Death, they sell water, but the packaging look like a beer or an energy drink. And in the people's mind, this creates something a bit conflictual that make them create a memory of the brand. Apple as well with the campaign Think Different is a very good example. So back in the days, you most of like the campaign from Intel or Apple competitor were all around features. My laptop has X amount of power, whatever, and Apple went directly in the other direction by just having this campaign that was called Think Different. That was such like a brilliant marketing move from Steve Jobs. So once you understand this concept, you really have everything you need to build a successful and consistent brand message that will turn a company into a memorable, trustworthy, and emotionally powerful brands. And if you want people to remember and choose you, your message needs to be clear, simple, and reinforce it relentlessly over time. So I hope that makes sense. If you want to have the bold mirror, please let me know in the comment and I will just add the link. And again, my name is Jonathan. I run a brand called As You Beauty. We are doing about 10 million revenue, and I just like sharing marketing trick or anything that can help you guys build a successful brand on your own. So if this is something you are interested in, just follow me and I'll be thankful. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye bye.